In the future, crime rates in South Africa spike over the decade, and many police officers lose their lives trying to stop heavily armed criminals. The government strikes a deal with a robot manufacturing company called Tetra Vaal to produce highly efficient police robots known as Scouts, which are fully run by AI. A major concern about cybernetic attacks on these robots is resolved by a new technology called the bulletproof guard key, which ensures only the key holder can manipulate the Scout software. Before creating the Scouts, Tetra Vaal tries to enter the peacekeeping market with a much bigger and stronger robot called the Moose, which is remotely controlled by a human. Vincent, a former soldier, developed the Moose because had issues trusting AI to handle police work. Meanwhile, Deon, the creator of the Scouts, fully trusts AI and wants to develop an advanced version that can think and feel like a human. One day, a Scout named 22 arrives at the repair center in bad shape. The engineers call it the unluckiest robot because it is constantly being shot and ending up there. After repairs, Scout 22 returns to duty. Meanwhile, a criminal gang led by Ninja is under heavy fire while trying to deliver drugs worth millions to their boss, Hippo. They evade the police and reach Hippo's hideout, only to find the drugs were ruined during the chase. Hippo, furious, demands they bring him $20 million in 7 days or face dire consequences. To show he's serious, Hippo kills one of Ninja's crew members. Then police helicopters armed with Scouts and officers arrive. The gang throws everything they have, including gas explosives, to escape undetected. When Ninja and his group try to leave with their van, the key is stolen. Scouts and officers are deployed, taking out every gang member in sight. The Scouts fire with precision, while human officers use them as shields. Ninja searches through the dead bodies for the keys but sees the person holding them drive away. Ninja fires at the car, but a Scout uses a grenade launcher to destroy it. Ninja seizes the chance to grab the key from the driver and escape. Meanwhile, Scout 22 and human officers breach Hippo's room, but Hippo is ready with an RPG. He fires, blowing apart 22's chest and deactivating it. Then, Ninja and his gang vanish into thin air. Later, news reports praise the Scouts for their success against another crime lord. The police department orders 100 more Scouts. Deon receives praise for his work, but Vincent watches angrily from a distance. Things get worse when Tetra Vaal's CEO, Michelle, tells Vincent his budget is cut, and he must impress the government board with his current resources. Next, Deon inspects Scout 22 and realizes its internal parts are damaged, but its brain architecture remains intact. The engineer suggests replacing the battery and some components to make it functional again. However, Deon thinks it's not worth the trouble, so he orders them to remove the CPU and destroy 22. Next, Hippo calls Ninja to let him know he is alive and still wants his money. Ninja and his team then discuss how to pull off a big score without attracting the attention of the Scouts. Yolandi, one of the group members, suggests they can turn off the Scouts with a single switch, just like any other machine. She explains that all they need is to find the creator of the robots and take the switch from him. That night, Deon heads home and continues working on his project to develop a human-like AI that can think and feel. After 3 years of effort, he believes he can finally complete it. Deon spends the whole night working, and by morning, he successfully creates a fully functional AI. Meanwhile, Ninja and his team research and discover that Deon is the creator of the Scouts, so they decide to kidnap him. In the morning, Deon rushes to his office to share his discovery with Michelle. However, she dismisses his idea, saying she only wants fighter AI, not one that can think and feel independently. Frustrated, Deon decides to secretly install his AI on Scout 22. He hurries to the factory to check if 22's body is still intact. Stealing the bulletproof guard key and 22's body, Deon loads them into his van and drives home, unaware that Vincent notices his suspicious behavior. On the way, Ninja and his gang capture Deon and take him to their hideout. Meanwhile, Vincent pitches the Moose to the government, but they reject it, calling it unsuitable for street use and visually unappealing. Next, Ninja, Yolandi, and America interrogate Deon about the rumored switch to control the Scouts. Deon laughs, explaining there is no such switch, and Scouts cannot simply be turned off with a button. Frustrated, Ninja beats Deon while America searches his van. After finding 22's body in the back, Yolandi suggests an idea. Deon should build them a robot to help them steal. Deon reluctantly agrees and offers to install his new AI into 22, explaining they can train it to be a gangster. The gang agrees, and Deon assembles 22 and installs the AI using the key. However, he warns them that 22 is a temporary scout and will only last 5 days due to its damaged state. Once completed, Deon switches on 22, who acts like a toddler and hides at first. Slowly, 22 begins trusting its surroundings and bonds with Deon and Yolandi. Seeing its cheerful nature, Yolandi nicknames it Chappie, short for Happy Chappie. Deon promises to return the next day to get the guard key and to train Chappie further. Next, Vincent, furious that the moose was rejected, checks the guard key's location and discovers it is still attached to 22. In the morning, Ninja tries to train Chappie to shoot, but Chappie, frightened by the gun, fails to hit the target. Yolandi defends Chappie, telling Ninja that it still needs time to learn and adjust. Next, Deon heads to Ninja's hideout to check on Chappie, unaware that Vincent is following him. Meanwhile, Yolandi and America teach Chappie how to talk, and it starts mimicking their gangster slang. Next, Deon arrives with his training tools but is shocked to see Chappie talking like a gangster. He advises Chappie to respect everyone and not act that way. Deon makes Chappie promise never to do anything illegal and trains it with various tools, including books. Later, Deon takes Chappie outside to teach it how to paint, which Chappie excels at. Meanwhile, Vincent spies on them and spots the key on Chappie. He leaves, planning how to steal it. The peaceful painting session is interrupted when Ninja arrives, furious that Chappie, his killing machine, is becoming too soft. Deon narrowly escapes in his van thanks to Yolandi calming Ninja down. Next, America, Ninja's third gang member, learns about a transport carrying 600 million and tells Ninja this could be their big break. Ninja decides to toughen Chappie up and takes it, along with America, to the outside world. They bring Chappie to a local junkyard and abandon it there. At first, the people are afraid of Chappie, mistaking it for a regular scout. But when they realize it's different and scared, they start bullying it. They throw rocks and even attack it with a Molotov cocktail. Chappie escapes and finds a hill to rest. Later, Vincent and his team track down Chappie. Using an EMP, they temporarily deactivate it and take it to their truck. Vincent cuts off Chappie's arm to access its brain and retrieves the guard key. Afterward, he throws Chappie out of the truck. Next, Chappie limps back to Ninja's hideout and finds Yolandi. Yolandi screams at Ninja for abandoning Chappie, but Ninja defends himself, saying he only wanted Chappie to toughen up. America then attaches a new arm for Chappie, which works perfectly. The next day, Deon buys a gun to protect himself from Ninja. Meanwhile, Ninja apologizes to Chappie for leaving it at the junkyard and asks for a fresh start. Ninja tells Chappie he needs its help for the heist and offers to train it to shoot people. But Chappie refuses, reminding Ninja of the promise it made to Deon not to commit crimes. America then convinces Chappie that instead of killing, it can use non-lethal methods like stabbing or kicking to make people go to sleep. Chappie believes this and starts training with them, quickly mastering knife throwing and powerful kicks. Next, they spray paint Chappie with designs like tattoos and give him chains, telling him it's just doing cool gangster stuff during the heist, not committing crimes. Then they convince Chappie that some bad people have stolen their car and it needs to help them get it back. At first, Chappie smashes the car after throwing the person they point out. But when they explain they need the car intact, it quickly learns and helps them steal multiple cars from unsuspecting citizens. Along the way, Chappie even learns how to drive. After that, they take all the stolen cars to a man named King, who exchanges them for explosives and other materials needed for the heist. During this, Chappie notices a dead dog and feels sorry for it. Ninja shows him another dog that is alive and asks Chappie which one it wants to be. Chappie responds that it can't die because it's made of titanium, but Ninja points out Chappie's low battery, showing it that it has only days left. He also makes Chappie believe that Deon deliberately gave it a broken body and that replacing it with new parts will cost a lot of money. This convinces Chappie to join the heist to get the money. Next, Deon arrives at the hideout and is horrified to see that Chappie has turned into a criminal. Meanwhile, Vincent goes to the Tetra Vaal facility and uses the guard key to install a program called Genesis, which systematically disables all the scouts in the country one by one. As the scouts shut down, Chappie also collapses, angering Deon. Deon pulls out his gun and threatens Ninja, demanding to take Chappie to the factory. Meanwhile, Ipo hears that all the scouts are offline and decides to claim the city. Chaos breaks out as gangs overrun the streets, killing cops and looting everything in sight. With the scouts offline, Vincent begins deleting the Genesis program from his computer. But before he can finish, Deon arrives at the factory with Chappie. Next, Deon reboots Chappie and it begins to function normally. While exploring the facility, Chappie sees the Moose robot and learns about the helmet that controls it. It also notices a new body and asks Deon to transfer its consciousness into it. Deon explains that it's not a simple process because Chappie's algorithm has evolved into a true consciousness. Angered, Chappie says Ninja would have helped it and steals the Moose helmet before running away. Next, multiple officers arrive at the facility, forcing Vincent to leave without fully erasing the Genesis program. Meanwhile, Chappie brings the helmet to Yolandi and explains that it can read consciousness. It convinces Yolandi to try the helmet, successfully reading her consciousness. Chappie then successfully extracts its consciousness after several failed attempts. Now, all it needs is a new body, which it plans to buy with the money from the heist. Chappie gets ready to join Ninja and the gang for the job. Later, Michelle orders Deon to fix the scouts and return them to the streets. At the same time, Vincent asks Michelle to deploy the Moose, but she refuses. During the heist, Chappie uses knives, believing it is just putting the soldiers to sleep, and helps the gang steal a huge amount of money. Meanwhile, Deon discovers the Genesis program is responsible for the recent scout malfunctions and realizes Vincent uploaded it. He tries to confront Vincent, but is interrupted when the TV shows live footage of Chappie and the gang during the heist. Furious, Deon storms out of the office. Vincent seizes the moment and goes to Michelle, accusing Deon of causing the scouts' malfunction. He also reveals that Deon created a sentient robot and shows her the TV footage of Chappie on the heist. Vincent convinces Michelle to deploy the Moose to restore peace and save the company's reputation. She reluctantly agrees. Meanwhile, Deon takes special weapons from the facility and leaves. Next, Vincent activates the Moose and heads to find Chappie. In the van, Chappie argues with Ninja after learning that Ninja has no intention of getting it a new body with the stolen money. Angry, Chappie throws Ninja out of the van. But Deon arrives at the hideout and warns the gang that the Moose is coming. He shows them the weapons he brought, but before they can prepare, Ipo and his men arrive. A shootout erupts between the two groups, but the chaos escalates when the Moose arrives. It immediately stomps on America, cutting him in half. Ninja tries to shoot the Moose, but it uses its flamethrower to destroy their van and incinerate the stolen money. Hippo's men engage the Moose, but it takes to the air and launches missiles, killing all of them except Hippo. Next, the Moose turns its attention to Deon and prepares to attack. Chappie intervenes, flying in with one of Deon's weapons and attaching an explosive to the Moose. It shoots at the Moose, disabling one of its cannons. But before it can detonate the explosive, the Moose fires at Chappie, causing it to drop the detonator. Hippo and Ninja take turns shooting at the Moose, while Chappie breaks through a wall to put Yolandi in a safe place. Ninja manages to shoot out the Moose's camera, forcing Vincent to retreat and fix the issue. Next, Chappie tells Deon to get in the car, but Hippo also wants the car to escape. Hippo forces Deon out and shoots him in the back as he tries to run. Enraged, Ninja attacks Hippo and decapitates him with a shovel. The Moose returns after repairing its camera, so Chappie quickly gets Deon into the car, and they flee with Ninja. The Moose chases them, but they stop so Chappie can retrieve the helmet. The Moose shoots, destroying the helmet, but Chappie manages to grab the laptop it had been working on. Next, Chappie tells them to drive to the factory where another helmet is located. Ninja distracts the Moose by shooting at it as they drive away. But as the Moose prepares to attack Ninja, Yolandi jumps out of the car and shoots at the Moose. However, the Moose retaliates, shooting and killing Yolandi instantly. Chappie, devastated by Yolandi's death, finds the detonator on the ground and blows the Moose to pieces. Filled with rage, Chappie takes the injured Deon to the facility where they encounter Vincent. Vincent tries to shoot Chappie, but the bullets have no effect. It throws Vincent around the facility, slamming him from one table to another, lecturing him about being a very bad man. Despite its anger, Chappie doesn't kill Vincent. Instead, it tells him that it forgives him. Chappie then takes Deon into the workshop and connects him to a brand new body. Using the helmet, Chappie successfully extracts Deon's consciousness into the new body. When Deon wakes up in the new body, he's surprised but grateful. The two then work together to upload Chappie's consciousness into a new scout, labeled 39, located outside the facility. Next, Deon runs out of the building before the police arrive, and outside he finds Chappie in its new body. The two of them escape together. Meanwhile, Ninja finds Yolandi's consciousness on a drive, a file Chappie had previously stored. In response to the chaos caused by the scouts, South Africa bans the use of robots in law enforcement, opting to rely on human forces instead. However, Chappie hacks into Tetra Vaal's system and successfully uploads Yolandi's consciousness into a newly built robot with a human-like face. The end. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like our channel and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Also, let us know what movie you would love us to recap for you.